Live from our studios here at Kokomlim Lane, Accra, this is Joy News Prime with me, Kenneth Jesse. In our headlines this hour, President-elect John Dramani Mahama names his transition team in line with the Presidential Transition Act as process commences tomorrow.
We agreed on an early inauguration of the joint transitional team as early as Wednesday, the 11th of December.
Details of the composition as former Speaker Right Honorable Edward Doe Ajaho is named as a member of the Transitional Advisory Council. Also coming up, chaos, rancor and agitations rock Ablekuma North Parliamentary Constituency Coalition at Greater Accra East Regional Coalition Center, halting proceedings for over 5 hours. We take you live to the Regional Coalition Center for live updates. Now, chairman of the John Mahama campaign reveals the winning strategy behind the political tsunami. Details as a joint transitional team is set to be inaugurated on Wednesday. Let's begin from here, as President-elect John Dramani Mahama has named his transition team in line with the Presidential Transition Act 2012, Act 845, as transition commences tomorrow. In line with the act, the president-elect shall, within 24 hours after declaration of the presidential election results, appoint persons for the following offices to be made part of the transition team. Now, the team will work closely with representatives of the outgoing government with a view to ensuring a smooth transfer of political power to the incoming administration. Speaking during his acceptance speech, President-elect John Dramani Mahama mentioned the joint transitional team will be inaugurated on Wednesday.
I also just received a call from His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He graciously extended his congratulations to me, and we had the opportunity to discuss matters related to the joint transitional team. We agreed on an early inauguration of the joint transitional team as early as Wednesday, the 11th of December. I conveyed my sincerest regards to him and expressed my readiness for us to work together to ensure a smooth transition in the best interest of the Ghanaian people.
Right, you heard the President-elect John Dramani Mahama outlining the views and ways through which they will collaborate with the outgoing government to ensure a smooth transition of power. Remember, we're live on DSTV channel 421. We're also live on GoTV channel 124. Now, chaos and agitations between aggrieved members of the MPP and NDC at the Greater Accra Regional Coalition Center at the Ablekuma North Parliamentary Constituency Results Coalition Center for both Ablekuma North and Okaikwe Central has been sent to the Regional Coalition Center after party supporters disrupted the processes on Sunday. So far, Ablekuma Central has been resolved, with results declared in favor of the NDC's Baba Sadiq. The NDC candidate, Rabna Obin, has also been declared winner of the Ablekuma North constituency parliamentary seat. Now, my colleague James Aveji has the report, but first, let's go on Zoom and speak to him. I understand we don't have James on Zoom right now, but let's take you to the Domi Kwabinya, because in that particular constituency, the parliamentary candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Michael Kwe Jr., is insisting the declaration of the parliamentary results in favor of Elikplim Akrugu was invalid. Elikplim was declared winner last night after votes tallied indicated that she crossed the 50% threshold. However, Mark Okwe says some ballot papers were burnt to ashes by NDC supporters, which denied constituents of seeing the true results.
It's been a very tough fight for you, but you're still in denial about the results. The question is, will you go to court?
Oh no, the EC said they'll get back to us, so we are waiting on the EC. I don't want to say more than that, because that is the situation. We want peace, but we want the things to be done properly. If I win, I win. If I've lost, I live to fight another day. but the right thing must be done. You cannot go and collate results alone with the EC and come and declare it. You were there yesterday. I remember you interviewed me around then. Is that right? That is what we're saying.
So have you reported the incident to the police service?
Oh, the EC are in charge. That's why they suspended it. Yes.
Okay, so that's Michael Quay Jr. Filing out of his campaign premises now. And, you know, the argument is being made now by the New Patriotic Party within the Dome Kwabenya constituency that they do not seem to agree with the outcome of this very result that we're seeing within the constituency. Let's take you to the action because you need to find out what exactly is happening. Just come along with me because they're still cheering him on, believing that Michael Quay Jr., I should say, is the winner of this very elections within the Dome Kwabenya area. Mami, Munji is a
we know, because honestly, I was present when the ballot papers were snatched. And I saw it. I saw the policemen following this young man who they didn't accost him. They brought the ballot papers after 1 hour. So I personally questioned the policeman, where is this man? And he goes like, oh babies, no, this criminal offense and you've gone to collect this. So I was expecting him to have arrested this man, but he brought the ballot papers after 1 hour. Who knows what he has done to these ballot papers?
They initially took our leniency for our weakness. Our PC told us that since we have the collation center at this house, we all should gather here and do our collation. And that is what we're doing. That is why the people didn't rush to the center. And they rushed there. Because there were many there and they thought their president has won. That is why they started inflating the place. Bring out power, showing machoism and other stuff. And we were there and the lady herself came. Oh, like you're saying, if you know you have won the election, you stay calm.
Still on the aftermath of this year's election, chaos and agitations between aggrieved members of the MPP and NDC at the Ablekuma North Constituency Results Coalition Center. A coalition for both Ablekuma North and Okaikwe Central has been sent to the Regional Coalition Center after party supporters disrupted the processes on Sunday. Let's go on to Zoom and speak to my colleague James Aveje, who has been there all weekend to bring us up to speed with what has happened so far. James, how did both sides manage to arrive at who the clear winner was in both constituencies?
The results have been arrived at after 219 out of the 281 polling stations have been collated, leaving some 61 actually to be collated. But the entire process has been marred with chaos after chaos and leading to this abrupt ending of the process and the declaration. We can listen to how the process has been through yesterday to today in the following report I put together after all of these encounters.
The chaos here at the EC Regional Coalition Center has come to an end. The day has been marked with chaos after chaos. Distracting the process was NDC party supporters breaking glass windows to the EC's Coalition Center. In the midst of the final chaos, the EC returning officer has been set to declare the NDC's candidate as winner of the election. Our cameras could not capture that declaration nor any figure mentioned of the two sides as to what the NDC and the NPP have got from the coalition. And I must also put on record that the entire 281 polling stations have not been fully collated. As at the morning, only 219 have been collated, and that is the figure the EC have been set to use to declare the result. We can hear from the NDC candidates.
The MPP candidate would have conceded honorably for the sake of the people of Ablekumanov, for the sake of the peace we have in this country and what we need. But sadly, it has to be this way. However, I just want to express my greatest gratitude to the leadership of the party, National Democratic Congress.
But the NPP candidate, Nana Ekuya-Efree, has been rejecting the declaration.
We won by 411. She got 34,199. And we had 34,610. And these were the figures we had. We are not going to accept it. We are not going to accept it. Thank you.
The NPP regional chairman, Divine Agohome, says they will take a final decision on the next step forward.
We'll get back. We are going back into our meeting today, and then very soon, by tomorrow, we should be able to, have a clear direction.
From the EC regional coalition here in Accra, my name is James Savaji, reporting for Joy News.
Well, thank you very much, James. Well, the misunderstanding is not peculiar to the Greater Accra region because in Techiman, some youth are seething with anger over delays in the declaration of the results for the parliamentary elections for Techiman South. Anas Sabit spoke with Edu Jemfi, who is the leader of the concerned youth of Techiman South.
On what happened in 2020, we were thinking something different can occur in Techiman. But it was on a different note. We actually had a peaceful election in Techiman. And after the election, based on what happened in 2020, we thought that the Electoral Commission would be fast enough to declare. Even Odododio Bantima, when you consider their population, they were more than us, but they were able to come out with the election results, of which there were no violence after that. But here we've waited up to now. So we are calling on the Electoral Commission. We met here to call on the Electoral Commissioner and all those stakeholders in our election to come out with the results of Techiman so that there will be peace over here. Because as at now, we already know the president-elect, of which the Electoral Commissioner made us aware yesterday that Techiman South is not part of it. Fine, we know that the president has already won, but we don't know our MP, of which it will delay in our development. So we are calling all of you and all the stakeholders in our election to come out, especially the EC, to come out that they are, we want to state it emphatically, that because of their delayance, that is why we are seeing some of this violence happening in this constituency.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Police Service have announced measures to tackle post-election violence. The police, as of Tuesday, December 9th, have arrested 89 suspects in connection with various offences during the election period, with 40 of them directly linked to acts of vandalism. The police service has cautioned the public to desist from any acts of violence. In a statement released by the police a few hours ago, it says it is on a manhunt for 3 persons in Tepa in the Ashanti region. We bring you details shortly, but first, Joy Sports editor Nathaniel Atok was at the offices of the Ghana Gas and has more in the following report.
I'm here at Roman Ridge, at the main junction that leads to the head office of Ghana Gas Company, which is also known as Ghana Gas. Earlier, we reported on Joy News that there was some disturbance in the yard where there was an incidence of over 300 men, some very heavily armed, going over to claim that they wanted to take over the whole head office of Ghana Gas. Now, what we do realize here is that so many staff of the company, some who are very, very alarmed, are driving out, and there is a heavy presence of police personnel. Some army officers, also fully armed, have just left the place. One of the people who just got here to come and have a full feel of the situation is the former CEO of the Ghana Free Zones Authority, who had a conversation with the leadership of the Ghana Police Service, who were detailed here to come and take charge of the situation. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us on Join News. What did you pick up and what brought you here?
Somebody called me, a very frightened person, called me from inside Ghana, people are heavily armed, and there was a new support. So, I came here to find out. Luckily, when I got to the I was okay. I said he was here with his baby himself, and they were engaging the guys, and they managed to get them to move. But you see, the soldiers also came here heavily armed. They are still there, and I want to appeal to those young people: please don't create problems for the man in whose name you are doing this.
I was just driving past and then I saw the scenario, so I decided to stop and find out exactly what was happening. So,
did you pick up any information about what's been happening here?
I also heard on the radio that some members of my party supported some members of my party are here this afternoon. You see the officers of Ghana Gas. So I drove straight here to come and the national media. This is not why Ghanaians give out the mandate to government. And that is the main reason why I'm here. Ever since I got here, the situation was more calm. I don't think any development is ongoing as of now.
As we can see, these are cars that belong to workers of Ghana Gas, most of them having to leave because of the situation and because of the kind of alarm that was created in their yard with the 300 plus people who came here to cause some reported mayhem. So as the situation stands, we've got heavy presence of security personnel there, the Ghana Police Service. We had quite a number of heavily armed men from the Ghana Army who were also detailed here. They are gradually discharging the people from here. And as you can see, like I said, many workers are just driving out. And this is the situation here. At least there is some calm restored and the workers are not necessarily in danger as we speak. There's heavy presence of security personnel here. Nathaniel Atto from Roman Ridge, right here, close to the head office of Ghana Gas Company.
Well, let's stay a while on this developing story, and my colleague Michael Ashali joins me via Zoom with details of the police statement. Michael, what more is contained in that particular statement?
So let's start from Tepa in the Ashanti region, where the Ghana Police Service says they have declared 3 individuals of identified persons wanted and is on the lookout for a group of individuals who broke into a private warehouse and a radio station at Tepa in the Ashanti region. The suspects, one Akako, assembly member for Akwasiase, George, assembly member for Mabin, and Majid, together with others, allegedly broke into the warehouse and made away with some items, including agricultural spraying machines, bags of fertilizers, and Wellington boats, among others. In another separate statement, the Ghana Police Service is also looking into the looking for suspects, 8 of them, for attacking the Metro Mass Transit workshop in Sunyane. It tells us that suspects Isaka, Tofik, Abudu, Isaiah, Abdul Latif Mohammed, that's Mohammed Azandoro, Al-Hassan Inusa, and then again Amadou Mohammed, and then finally Abdullahi Adams, and then Abdullahi Ibrahim are all wanted by the police for unlawfully entering the premises of the Metro Mass Transit workshop, attacked and threatened the workers to leave their offices. And then finally, the police also investigating an incident at the Member of Parliament for one of the Greater Accra regions, Esla Ekuku, who they say that some individuals broke into a private residence. They're also on the lookout for these individuals. So this is a roundup of what the Ghana Police Service has posted so far on some of their public spaces, that these are the cases they are currently tracking and tracing and looking for these individuals.
Thank you very much, Michael. In a related development, President-elect John Mahama has condemned attacks on state facilities and installations by some NDC supporters, following MPP presidential candidate Mahmoud Bawumia conceding defeat to John Mahama in the presidential election, Some people suspected to be NDC supporters have been ransacking state institutions, including NADMO head office, Ayawaso East Municipal Assembly, Kaneshi Metro Mass, Kumasi Metro Mass, and some key institutions. Addressing the nation during his acceptance speech, John Mahama urged the party supporters to channel their anger into rebuilding the country.
I know that many of you are feeling frustrated and angry, but I ask you today, please do not give in to negativity and pessimism. There have been reports of acts of vandalism at some government facilities and installations. I urge you not to vent your frustration in criminal enterprise. We must channel our anger and frustration into the positive enterprise of resetting and rebuilding our nation.
Stay on the just concluded elections because the Ghana Journalists Association, GJA, has commended the peaceful nature of the 2024 election coverage, revealing that no media personnel were attacked during the process. Addressing a press briefing at the press center, GJA President Albert Jumfuo acknowledged that while some reporters faced safety concerns and trauma from chaotic incidences, no physical assaults on journalists were recorded.
Safety concerns. Some reporters experienced some safety issues while reporting from the field, highlighting the need for increased security measures to protect media practitioners. Some of our colleagues were in areas where the shooting incidents occurred. Though we did not receive any report of physical attack, some journalists were traumatized because they were right at the places where the killings took place. But largely, I can say that there wasn't any major report of attack or assault on the media, which means we have really, really done well. Let's clap for ourselves. This is commendable. This is very, very commendable. And I commend all of you for the yeoman's job.
Albert Jumfuo also urged President Akufo-Addo and the Ghana Armed Forces to take decisive action against individuals involved in acts of vandalism.
The coalition is worried about the acts of vandalism in some parts of the country where people have taken the law into their own hands and are destroying and looting state properties. We condemn this act of vandalism and call on the perpetrators to stop it immediately. You can't waste taxpayers' money. It is our money. If you destroy it, they'll use the...
Meanwhile, the National Democratic Congress says it has not commissioned any group of people to move into any government institution to retrieve, take over, or protect any institution. According to the party's General Secretary, Fifi Kwete, anyone who takes the law into his or her own hands must be strong enough to carry the weight of the law. He added that the police must also not sleep on its responsibilities because a party has one power.
We don't. As you appreciate, sometimes after 8 years of what we've gone through, sometimes people tend to go a bit overboard. So we have sent a clear message. Released a statement earlier today urging our rank and file to show moderation, to make sure that we keep to the law, that people cannot take the law into their own hands, and that the security forces have the right to ensure, the law enforcement body has the right to ensure that the laws of Ghana are respected at all moments. We pleaded with them and told them that, listen, things will be done properly once the president-elect takes over from January 7. What needs to be done in terms of accountability. People who have done what is wrong will be duly punished. We'll ensure the institutions of the country work properly. So I want to use this opportunity once more to reiterate and make a call to the rank and file of the NDC that even if there is provocation, even if there seem to be legitimate reasons why people need to do what they get to do, there's a need to always wait for.
Well, President-elect John Dramani Mahama is currently addressing the press. Let's take you there live. Apologies for that technical difficulty. We'll return from the break with more. See you in a moment. You're welcome back. President-elect John Dramani Mahama has been addressing the media. Let's cross over now and listen to what he's been saying.
Brothers and sisters, I come before you tonight as your president-elect to again express my deepest gratitude for your unwavering support in Saturday's election. This is a moment of hope, unity and opportunity for our great nation. However, I must address a matter of urgent importance tonight. Transitions from one administration to another create the impression of a vacuum of power, and certain people are easily compelled to act in their own parochial interest instead of the national interest. I've received reports of attacks on state offices and installations. While it's unclear who is behind these attacks, I condemn them in no uncertain terms. These acts must cease immediately. As I said during my post-declaration speech, I urge the youth not to vent their frustration in criminal enterprise. Instead, they must channel their anger and frustration into the positive enterprise of resetting and rebuilding our beloved nation. I urge all our citizens to remain calm and avoid actions that could harm our institutions and our democracy. We have fought hard for change, and now is the time to demonstrate our commitment to rebuilding the Ghana we want through unity and understanding. Because state power is still in the hands of the present administration, I call on the President and the security agencies to act decisively to curb the ongoing acts of lawlessness immediately. I thank you, my fellow citizens, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana.
Just had the President-elect John Dramani Mahama condemning once again the acts of violence post-elections. Well, let's bring you other stories tonight because Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman has made history by becoming the first female vice president-elect in the Fourth Republic. Madam Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman has made a number of successive feats in both academics and politics and will from the 7th of January become Ghana's first female vice president. Here is Mama V. Sefako's report read to you.
Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, born on 22nd November 1951 in Cape Coast, is a distinguished academic and politician. She served as the Minister for Education from February 2013 to January 2017 and is a full professor of literature. Notably, she was the first female vice-chancellor of a state university in Ghana, taking the helm at the University of Cape Coast. Opoku-Agyeman received her early education at the Anglican Girls' Secondary School in Koforidua and Ebri Presby Girls' School. She completed her secondary education at the Wesley Girls' High School from 1964 to 1971. Ahead of the 2012 general elections, she moderated a debate featuring Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. On 26 October 2018, she became the Chancellor of the Women's University in Africa, located in Zimbabwe. The President-elect John Dramani Mahama has touted the Vice President as breaking barriers as a woman in his acceptance speech after he was declared winner of the just-ended December 7 polls.
I'd like to thank the Vice President-elect, Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, for being an exemplary and inspirational running mate. Nana, your decency, your humility, and your sense of responsibility added so much to this campaign. The eyes of every young girl and woman, not only in Ghana, but in nations across this continent and the world, are going to be on you from today. And as you said, you have not only opened the door, but you're going to keep the door open for many other women. Your name has become synonymous with breaking boundaries. And like I said, you have opened the door of opportunity for many of our female citizens. Because of you, the people of Ghana can today celebrate the fact that we have made history by electing our first woman as Vice President.
A gender advocate and founder and convener of the Alliance for Women in Media Africa, Shamima Muslim Al-Hassan, has indicated that Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, occupying the high office as the first ever female vice president, is going to amplify women since they have been marginalized and barely represented in leadership.
Women have always been underrepresented since independence in Ghana's national life, in politics, across all sectors. We have seen low representations of women in high leadership. If we take politics more specifically, 67 years since Ghana attained independence, no woman has ever been a vice president. Our numbers in parliament haven't been increasing at the rate that we expect a country like Ghana, which continues to tout its, democratic credentials to reach. We haven't quite reached the minimum 30% female representation in parliament. And so for me, it is very significant that a major political party like the NDC, under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama, would have seen the importance of amplifying women at the very top, because once we take that bold decision at the top, the trickle-down effect will be massive.
She's of the view that Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, as the female vice president of Ghana in the Fourth Republic, serves as an inspiration for all women who aspire to climb to that enviable office in the near future. Mamavi Sefa-Kote's report for Joy News.
Congratulations once again to Nana Opoku-Agyeman for making history. Let's take you to the camp of the governing New Patriotic Party, because the party's 2024 presidential candidate, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has called for unity in the party after suffering one of its heaviest defeats. Addressing party supporters who called on him to pledge their continuous support for him, Dr. Bawumia thanked the party faithful and reiterated his commitment to the party's ideas and future. The vice president called for calm within the party, urging members to move past blame games, reflect on what led to their defeat, and bounce back stronger. The following report has more. Addressing party supporters at his official residence a day after the Electoral Commission declared the results, Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia said internal data shows that 40% of electorates that voted for the MPP abstained from voting this year, while John Mahama maintained his votes from 2020.
Election yen na yedema NDC. Enye omo na omo wi ni. Omo numbers no ansesa from 2020. Yen yede no above by 40%. Inti analysis no simple. Inti adia me pese ye nyina ye hu say united we stand, divided we fall.
Among the crowd were MPP MP elects for the Wejagbawe and Trobo constituents respectively, who pledged their support for the MPP flag bearer.
Now the whole world, even Americans, Donald Trump in 2020, he couldn't do what you did. We hear about all the pressures yet sitting from all manner of countries, but you are just a man. Listen, Obianko election, what campaign it is that?
Doctor, trouble for your door. Yenja wumu de biara da. Esansa wushe Greater Accra. Only constituency a ma will vote a trouble constituency. Na you better try everything possible. Ya nyoma na ehyiagu. You be hu how you be see you be hyehyɛ no.
Dr. Mahmoud Baumia called on all members and supporters of the parties to stop blaming one another over the party's defeat in the 2024 elections and unite ahead of the 2028 elections.
His ways are not his ways. Enti, who pain no? Don't start blaming people. Blame game no, a bit destroy. Let's come together because you need say if we are young, and I had the power no mouth. And to just say the ebenya so that by 28 no we are united. Once we are united no with a goal, you are going to win in 2028. And unity no na here. Stop the blame games. Let's look at the future.
The supporters came from 5 constituencies in the Greater Accra region: Anyaso Utuom, Klote Kole, Wejagbawe, Ayawaso East, and Trobo, to show their unflinching support for their defeated presidential candidate. We'll be back from the break with the latest in showbiz. Stay tuned. You're welcome back. Well, up next is Showbiz, and Becky is joining me in the studio. You look lovely, by the way.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm fantastic. I haven't seen you here before, and I'm so glad that we're doing this together this evening. Well, your election headquarters, you know how we covered this election extensively. From the Showbiz decks, we have entertainers who are heading towards Parliament. So we're just bringing you those people. We have a very good friend of mine, A+, who is MP-elect for Gomoa Central Constituency.
It's quite interesting, though, because he went as an independent
candidate and won. Honorable Jafar Abla Gomashi, she is coming back, MP-elect for Ketu South Constituency. We have obviously John Dumelo, who is MP-elect for Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency.
That election, though, was keenly contested.
I know. And everybody's saying that he deserves it. I think that he worked so hard for that constituency.
Oh, so the next person is Ebbie Bright, who is also an actress.
Who is also an actress.
She's been really going hard at this particular constituency for a while now.
And so today or now she's won finally. So who's next? So we have Ohini Kwame Frimpong, who is also MP-elect for Asante Achem North constituency. So these are your entertainers.
Well, there's another one. That's Baba Sadiq. Who is the CEO of 3 Music, right?
Well, not anymore. He's not CEO of 3 Music anymore. He's moved from there very long time ago when he decided to pursue politics. And so Baba is heading towards Parliament, and he says that his concentration is actually on his constituents and not, the entertainment industry. But John Dumelo was on Hit FM this morning, and he's been talking about how entertainers have been tagged as entertainers and not politicians. He said, when you tag, even though they are entertainers, you don't necessarily have to refer to them as just entertainers, and so they cannot go or pursue politics. Anybody, according to John Dumelo, can pursue politics.
People make such statements. You are not making that statement, but a lot of people make that statement. I see it as a little bit disrespectful because you have lawyers, you have doctors, you have businessmen in Parliament. At the point in time, we even had hairdressers in Parliament. But it's about representing your people. It's not about your occupation or what you do. Your career shouldn't define you or shouldn't put you in a certain box. It's about how well you represent the people. And so the funny thing is, people say, "Oh, now we're so trusting your career or Parliament." So we entertain our career or Parliament, but the same politicians are the same people who come to entertain us to endorse them during political seasons and political campaigns because they know how powerful entertainers can be. And so for me, that stigma is just one of those things that when people say it, I just laugh about it. But all in all, it's for us to be in Parliament and succeed and represent the people well.
Through briefly, the President-elect John Dramani Mahama's transition team that he has named, and the story is, of course, on myjoyonline.com. Notable names include Julius Debra, who was his chief of staff, who now becomes the co-chairperson. We also have Johnson Esiedu Getia, who is a member. Take us through a few of them.
Honorable Fifi Kwete, who is a member. We have also Dr. Callistus Mahama, who is member secretary to the transition team. We have Dr. Valerie Sawyer, who is also a member, Professor Kwamina Ahoy.
We also have the minority leader, Cassiel Ato Forsin, and a few notable Honorable names Mahama there.
Ayariga, Honorable Guzi Tano.
Right.
I haven't heard from Guzi Tano in a while.
He's around.
So we have Dr. Edward Omani Bwama also. Member.
And the last one is additionally, the president-elect has nominated former Speaker of Parliament Edward Doe Ajaho as a member of the Transitional Advisory Council.
Okay.
Right, and that's how we end Joine's Prime today. My name is Kenneth Jesse. Thank you very much for being a part of the show.